Okay, now a lot of people are starting to tick me off because there are people who believe that the Los Angeles Chargers are overrated. And the reason for that is because they bring in a new coaching staff and they believe that Justin Herbert is going to have a sophomore slump. And I'm not annoyed at the fact that people have the opinion that the Chargers are overrated and they may not make it to the playoffs, because I can definitely understand that. I can definitely understand the logic. You do have a new coaching staff, okay? But I don't feel like Justin Herbert is going to have a sophomore slump. And this is what annoys me. Everybody is saying that Justin Herbert is going to have a sophomore slump, but I've yet to see one person say that Joe Burrow is going to have a sophomore slump. Why do people have to try to be so right about everything? Why can't people just admit that they took the L on Justin Herbert, eat it, and live with it? Literally. I was telling people all last year that Justin Herbert was going to be fine. And this is why I don't understand people's logic. Yes, I do understand that Justin Herbert is going to be learning a new system. He has a new coaching staff, a new offensive coordinator. I understand that. But at the same time, Justin Herbert had the best rookie season ever for a rookie quarterback statistically in NFL history, not having any OTAs, any rookie minicamp, only a couple of weeks of training camp, and he was named the starter out of nowhere 15 minutes prior to kickoff against, at the time, the defending reigning Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, and he lit them up. He had a fantastic year despite everything that he had to go through, not having a normal offseason due to COVID. So if he can overcome that, I'm pretty sure Justin Herbert can overcome a coaching change. And then on top of that, people are trying to make it seem like the Chargers don't have talent. The Chargers have talent. Joey Bosa was injured for the majority of last year. Derwin James, their best player on defense, didn't even play last season. He's coming back fully healthy. Bosa's fully healthy. This team has talent. You have rookie cornerback Asante Samuel. This secondary is good. You have Chris Harris, one of the better corners in the league, even though he's getting up there in age. The offensive line is improved with the addition of center Corey Linsley from Green Bay. You got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams at wide receiver, Austin Eckler, who missed the majority of last year due to an injury, so you didn't really have that good of a rushing attack. I believe that the Chargers are making it to the playoffs. And for everybody that's calling this team overrated, I understand, but the reason and logic behind people calling this team overrated doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because it seems like people are calling this team overrated because they're betting on Justin Herbert having a sophomore slump. And if that's the case, if you believe Justin Herbert is going to have a sophomore slump, then that means Joe Burrow is going to have a sophomore slump also. Joe Burrow got his season cut short. Joe Burrow may not be the same quarterback after his injury. Listen, I think a lot of people around this time tend to overthink things. The Raiders are not a better team than the LA Chargers. Gus Bradley is not a great defensive coordinator. I do not believe that he's going to turn that defense around. And a lot of people can make the excuses that, well, JT, he had 2 top 10 defenses prior to last season. Okay, but his defense wasn't good. And you can blame it on the injuries, but at the same time, Bill Belichick and Robert Saleh both had 2 top 10 defense despite missing the majority of their starters. So if people are really going to try to sell me that the Raiders are going to make it to the playoffs over the Chargers, then I'm not going to do anything but just laugh in your face. The Raiders are not a better team than the Chargers. The Chargers have more talent defensively and offensively than what the Las Vegas Raiders have. And nobody's even talking about the fact that the Raiders' offensive line got worse this past offseason. Now, it's not terrible, but their offensive line definitely took a step back. And then on top of that, Jon Gruden isn't that great of a coach. I feel like Jon Gruden may be one of the most overrated coaches in the NFL. People only give Jon Gruden his due because he won a Super Bowl nearly 2 decades ago. It's been like 19 years since the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, head coached by John Gruden. So I'm not really understanding why people are trying to say that the Chargers are overrated. They're a better team than the Raiders. This team has a lot of talent. All this team needs is a good head coach, and I believe that they have that in Brandon Staley. All they need is a defense. They didn't have that last year. There were a lot of games that the Chargers lost because their defense allowed the opposing team's offense to score a touchdown in the last closing minutes of the game. So with Brandon Staley, you look at how he turned around the Rams defense in one season. Before Brandon Staley arrived with the Rams last year, the Rams had an average defense. He turned an average defense into an elite defense. And you can say, well, you had Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. You had a lot of talent, and that is true. But he has good amount of talent with the Chargers on defense. You got Joey Bosa, one of the best pass rushers in the game. You have Derwin James, Chris Harris. There's a lot of talent on that Chargers defense. So I believe that Chargers defense is going to turn around and be one of the best defenses in the NFL this season. He's going to do the same job he did with the Rams defense last season. The talent's there. And if the Chargers don't make it to the playoffs this season, then I believe that Brandon Staley isn't the guy. Because the Chargers are definitely a team that right now should be winning games and making it to the playoffs. Literally. So I don't understand the narrative that people are coming up with that this team is overrated. What about this team is overrated? Do the Chargers not have talent? Could they have more talent than the Raiders? Yeah, they may have some concerns on their offensive line, but the offensive line is definitely going to be better this year than what it was last year. And the fact that people are saying that the Raiders are going to be better than the Chargers really puzzles me, because the Raiders have way more questions than what the LA Chargers do. The Raiders don't know how great their wide receiver position is going to be this year. You don't know how great your corners are going to be, how good your safeties are going to be, how good your pass rush is going to be, how good your linebackers are going to be, how good Gus Bradley is going to be. You have so many questions. You don't have that many questions with the LA Chargers. So I don't think the Chargers are overrated. Like, I don't really understand the thinking that everybody's coming from. Like, everybody that's calling the Chargers overrated, I have realized, have been saying that the Raiders are going to be better than them. And I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to put my confidence in the Raiders. The Raiders definitely are a team that can make it to the playoffs. But I don't think they're going to be better than the Chargers this year. They just have way too many questions than what the Chargers have. The Chargers' main concerns are, can Derwin James stay healthy? And how good would the offensive line be? That's it. For the Raiders, you have an entire defense that's a huge concern. You don't know how productive your wide receiver position is going to be this year. It's not all that great. So for me, I'm riding with the Chargers to make it to the playoffs. They're not going to win the division. I'm not picking them to win the division, but I definitely feel like they're going to be the second best team in this division. And if you want to put money that the Chargers won't make it to the playoffs, you can hit my DM and we can get a $10 bet going on, because I have already a lot of bets that I have coming up this year. But if you want to put $10 on the Chargers making it and not making it to the playoffs, we can do it. You can hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, JT_Sports_. The link to it is down in the description down below. But I'm willing to put money that the LA Chargers will make it to the playoffs this year. I don't understand how people are trying to call this team overrated. You ask somebody to give you a logical explanation for why this team's overrated, and they say, well, Justin Herbert's going to have a sophomore slump, new coaching staff. The dude had the greatest statistical rookie season ever for a quarterback with a non-traditional offseason. With COVID, only a few weeks of training camp to really learn the system, and balled out. But yet, I don't see nobody saying that Joe Burrow is going to have a sophomore slump coming off a season-ending injury. Joe Burrow may not be the same quarterback. Who knows? So if you're going to say that Justin Herbert could have a sophomore slump, you got to keep that same energy about Joe Burrow. But I believe that the Chargers are going to make it to the playoffs this year. And I believe they're going to be better than the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'm willing to put money down. I'm willing to put $10 that the Chargers will make it to the playoffs this year and that they will have a better record than the Las Vegas Raiders. So you guys let me know how you guys feel about the Chargers down in the comment section down below. Do you guys believe that the LA Chargers are overrated? Do you guys believe that they will make it to the playoffs this year? Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.